I still remember the exact moment my world shattered, the sterile conference room, the cold dismissal, the collective smirks of the scientific elite as they told me my research was irrelevant. "You're chasing fantasies," they said. "This isn't real science. Stop wasting your time with these underwater drones. You're just tinkering with toys." Their words echoed in my ears like a death knell. But what stung even more was the silence from my own family. When I called them afterward, hoping for a shred of support, I was met instead with derision. "Why are you embarrassing us? This is a joke. You'll never make it. You should just get a real job." That night, every dream I had ever nurtured felt like it was drowning beneath the weight of their scorn. But that moment, as devastating as it was, became my crucible. I refused to let their laughter define me. I left home the very next day, carrying nothing but a battered suitcase and an unyielding belief in the future I knew I could build. Alone in a tiny, damp apartment by the coast, I began crafting those so-called toys with a fury I hadn't known I possessed. Biodegradable underwater drones, small, nimble devices that could explore and map the ocean's depths without harming the fragile ecosystems below. People laughed at me in labs and workshops, calling me a fool chasing childish fantasies. But every failure was a lesson, every ridicule a spark to fuel my obsession. Years blurred into nights filled with soldering irons, coding marathons, and endless dives into scientific literature no one else seemed to care about. I watched barren ocean floors for signs of life, tested my drones in murky waters, and slowly, painstakingly, pieced together a new way of exploring the deep. Then one day, the impossible happened. The drones discovered something extraordinary. A lost coral reef, vibrant and teeming with life, hidden beneath layers of sediment and neglect. A reef thought wiped out by climate change, now showing signs of revival. The scientific world couldn't ignore it anymore. Suddenly, my toy tinkering wasn't a joke. It was a revolution. I poured my soul into developing ecotech that could monitor, protect, and even restore these underwater havens. My work began to transform barren ocean stretches into thriving ecosystems, breathing life back into places no one believed could be saved. Awards followed, grants poured in, and my name became synonymous with a new wave of marine conservation. But the greatest victory wasn't in the accolades or headlines. It was knowing I had proven them all wrong. And so, after nearly a decade of exile, I returned home, my heart pounding with a mix of fear and determination. I stood on the threshold of the house that once echoed with mocking laughter. My family's faces, lined with age and surprise, greeted me with a mix of curiosity and disbelief. "Is that really you?" my mother whispered, eyes wide. I smiled, not with arrogance, but with the quiet strength forged in years of struggle. "Yes," I said simply, "and I want to show you what I've done." We drove to a nearby coastline, once a desolate stretch of gray sand and lifeless water. There, I unveiled the fruits of my labor, the thriving underwater gardens that my drones had helped nurture back to life. My family watched through glass-bottom boats as schools of fish guarded among vibrant corals, sea turtles glided gracefully, and the water shimmered with renewed vitality. Tears welled in my father's eyes as he grasped my hand. "We were wrong," he admitted, voice thick with regret. "We never saw how important this was." That day, I didn't just reclaim my dignity. I reclaimed the love that had been buried beneath years of doubt. My journey wasn't just about proving others wrong. It was about believing in myself when no one else did. And in that belief, I found a truth that no ridicule could ever drown. If there's one thing I've learned, it's this. Dreams dismissed by others are often the ones worth pursuing the most. Because when you fight not just for success, but for the world you want to live in, even the coldest rejection can become the seed of something extraordinary.